So, hello everyone. Hello YouTube. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're gonna be playing more Cataclysm. I do hear again my niece is at the house this week, and lots of people are in my house today and gonna be making a lot of noise, I imagine. So we're gonna work on just playing the game. Hopefully everybody stays quiet and polite. Murder Jack and myself are having a full-on race to be the first donation/sub. I see. So you want to see who can claim I'm the first one who gave Murder something. I mean, okay. I don't know. I have done some research regarding tax stuff and structuring a business, so that is something that is moving forward. I still need to meet with some people and have some conversations, but at least I know a little bit better now than what I normally like. I know better now than I did, so that is something. Let's assess. We were doing vehicle work, I believe. Looks like we dropped our storm out here. Nope, just a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, this was probably in our trunk, and I probably pulled it out when we were doing vehicle work. That's more or less the structure of the vehicle that I want. I don't know that I need to do a whole lot more to it. We could put a ram on it, of course. We would like things like a forge long term, but for now, it's fine. Why is there windshield part way down the vehicle? I don't like that. We're gonna remedy that. Is this an hour early today? Yes, I'm a little bit early. Probably about 45 minutes earlier than I normally would go live, but yeah, I don't know how much time I have, so I tried to jam in a little extra time here. Hopefully, we can still go for like 2 hours. I'm a little concerned about not having enough time, but we'll see how that goes. Do I have my welder? I do. Let's rip this windshield out. I hate that there's a windshield in the middle of my vehicle. Oh, and I should put a bed. Oh, and all of this needs to become boards. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. But doable. Are you transparent? We can see through these doors as well. Or maybe that's just because the windshield is there. Whatever. Let's do something low impact, easy to do. Let's go gather some sheets for curtains. Shouldn't be taking too long. Tear down curtains. Yeah, hopefully can stream for a decent amount of time, but I am concerned with the house. And I've been a little under the weather. I was sick over the weekend, which was partially why I accomplished absolutely nothing this weekend. Always disappointing when you set out to do things and then you end up accomplishing exactly nothing. Always disappointing. The scripts that you have set up, you can do links. Probably not me, I guess, that you're talking to. Oh yes, so I do have two monitors. We talked about this last week. Was having a lot of issues with our Xbox, trying to use that as a means of viewing chat and things. And we had talked about possibly setting up two monitors. I've never done that before. I was concerned it was going to be like a complicated thing. It was not. It was I ordered a cable that goes from my display port. Well, my graphics card goes to this TV I have here set up as what I was using the Xbox on. And now, yeah, I have two monitors, and it's kind of fantastic because I can see OBS, which hopefully will mean in the future if I pull up my overlay, I should notice that the overlay is up. So hopefully that will lead to considerably less time where I'm rambling and have the overlay up and you guys can't see anything. So hopefully that will help a lot with that. Additionally, it's pretty much a guarantee now that I will always be able to see chat on this second monitor, so that's really nice. And I'm kind of thrilled at how cheap and easy that was. The cable was inexpensive, but Amazon shipping right now is a little bit. I don't know if it's because of world situation or if it's always so expensive because I don't really shop online so much. But yeah, the shipping was almost as much as the cable, but whatever. Got the second monitor. Definitely something I'm grateful to have. Honestly, it's not a second PC, which is what I really need, but baby steps and all that jazz. And I'm very poor, and just a whole slew of reasons why I'm not able to set up a second PC at the moment. I really been thinking a lot about thrifting lately, going out and hitting up the thrift shops, but I think everything's closed still because of the stuff going on in the world. And I was like, man, even if I just had a PC from like 6, 8 years ago, I could run old games on it and put it to this PC and record a lot smoother and just open up a little bit more of what I could do. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that a lot. I've been watching LGR. Of course, he has a TV or a YouTube series about thrifting. And like a year and a half ago, I had watched that series and started going to thrift stores and found some pretty cool stuff. And just been thinking about that a lot lately. And a little disappointed I can't do that. But the apocalypse and all that stuff is getting in the way. So what are you gonna do? Let's rip out these quarter panels. This is tedious work, but let's just do it. Oh, it is boards. Oh, excellent. Good, I don't have to do all that work. Let's just replace this one with a board. And then we'll rip out those doors and replace those with proper opaque doors. I should be able to not... Yes, excellent. So they are boards. That's great. Let's tear these doors off, I guess. Door. LGR is the bomb. Yeah, so if you've never heard of LGR, he does a lot of old tech reviews, old video game reviews. Just an all-around interesting dude. He has a huge collection of PC games and stuff, and I'm a collector myself, so that kind of stuff is what grabbed my attention initially, was seeing his collection and being like, holy crap, that's what I want. But yeah, he just does a lot of content. Honestly, I've found that his content is not as expansive as I sort of expected it to be for someone who's been around as long as he has. And some of the older stuff is pretty rough with audio quality. He got in YouTube early. But like, he's an interesting dude. And honestly, if you don't go for anything else, just seeing his collection, seeing the love that he has for, that kind of stuff, I really, it just appeals to me as a collector. So I'm a big fan. Seems like a decent dude, I guess. I don't know. I tend to look, when I do YouTube and stuff, I tend to look for people that I find relatable. And again, with his collection mindset and that kind of stuff and old tech, it just, fits with me. So for me, really like the dude. Seems like good content to me. So give him a Google sometime if you haven't seen him. I think most people have heard of him if you're a gamer. He covers a lot of pretty obvious stuff that's like, classic. Boy, the stuff he gets donated. Maybe Murder should set up a P.O. box. It's something I've thought about. That down the road, of course, not now. I'm not going to be, taking things from people now, but I do collect things, and I've been thinking more and more about trying to expand my collection. I don't have a lot of money, but there are, cheap things I can do to pick things up, and yeah, I mean, people like to send things to other people. He's not the only person I see on YouTube who has a P.O. box set up just for people to send him stuff. But again, we've talked about this. I have some issues with like accepting donations and getting past the mental hurdle of like people giving you things for no good reason. Excuse me. And yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. So I guess I want to put a bed in here as well. We don't have a ton of space. We should also set up an aisle light while we're thinking about it. What else do I need in here? I feel like I'm missing something really obvious that I put in all of my vehicles. Definitely a bed. Definitely get that other seat out of there, especially if we're going to be putting a bed in. That way we can, like, transfer one of these. I usually have a forge. I usually extend the end of the vehicle, but that's, like, extensive vehicle work I don't really feel like doing at the moment. Although we've pretty heavily explored the area. Maybe we could do with a diversion where we just work on the vehicle for a decent chunk of time. Did we ever check this evac shelter? We should go over there and grab a solar panel. If nothing else, I think. We have a good reason. you say thanks on stream. I mean, I guess it's it's a weird dynamic, right? Like so like when I told my family member, I said, hey, I'm getting to the point where can start earning ad revenue and donations and stuff. And I thought she would be like proud of me for making progress. And I told her that, and her first thought was like, well, how much money? First of all, she went right to how much money. And then right after that, she was like, why would people give you money? And I was like, I don't know. I make a lot of content for free. People feel like they want to help you, whatever. She's like, yeah, but why would people give you money? They're not getting anything out of it. And I was like, they kind of did get like 500 hours of free content right now they could go watch at their fingertips on YouTube, and ongoing streams and stuff. It's kind of like, at the end of the day, most of them are going to give me like 10 cents in ad revenue. It's not like, like I'm the one getting the shorter end of that stick at the moment. And she's like, I just don't understand why people would send you money for nothing. And it's like, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, and I think that it's an interesting one to wrap your head around. I still feel uncomfortable with it, but whatever. We don't need to talk about this. I collect hats. You collect hats? That's cool. I'm not a hat person myself. I wear a ball cap pretty much all the time because I'm hair's thinning a little bit and I'm ashamed of it, but I don't really care about hats. I think this is I have a black hat and it came from the dollar store, and that's about all that I have in the realm of hats. Very hungry, very thirsty. Let's address that. I think we're out of meat again, which is wonderful. We have dehydrated meat. I don't really want that. You cook some eggs. Are these gonna rot as well as soon as I take them out of the thing? No, they're staying frozen and they're not rotting. That's already better than the meat was. Let's make some eggs. I collect tarot cards is like the big one, magic cards. I love card games, so I have a lot of cards lingering around. I have an expansive collection of Xbox 360 games. That's one of my current like obsessions is I want to collect every game that was ever produced for the 360. And it's kind of at that window where like it's getting to be older technology, so you could go to like a GameStop or whatever and pick up tons of games for like $1 each. They might not be great, but you can expand your collection and pick up the ones that are less popular. And it's not quite at that point where it's super nostalgic yet, so there's not a ton of value in 360s or 360 games. But because I grew up with it, and it's probably the console I've spent the most time on, just is one of my background goals is like I would like to get every game that's been released in the U.S. I have a pretty expansive collection as it is. Takes up it's one enormous shelf on my giant bookshelf over there. Let's make some I don't know, deluxe eggs, I guess. I don't think we really have meat. We have all that canned meat, but I'm hesitant to eat it. I did see Korg put in a change to take care of all those cans spawning as open. Unfortunately, it's not going to change the cans we've already seen. So, like a lot of stuff we're going to find in the local area is still going to be open. But hopefully, over time, that will weed its way out, and we'll start finding closed cans, which will be great. They're part of a different generation. Some of us now we want to see content creators successful. That is a big part of it. She definitely just doesn't really understand. It's for generating content. I have a lot of Soviet hats. Got a couple of cowboy hats. Hats with a big fan. I got a lot of hats. I mean, if you enjoy that, that's great. So I have this collector mentality. It's like an itch. You have to have things and organize them and neatly label them. Like currently, right now as well, in my free time, I am taking and collecting every Sega Genesis manual that's ever been created. It's just something I started doing a couple weeks ago, and it's like in my free downtime on the internet, I will source Genesis manuals and check their color scans and that kind of stuff. And it's just I don't know, something about that collector mindset. I've yet to find a place where they're all kind of conglomerated into like one website. So that's like a background project I would love to maybe throw together a simple website and just host all these manuals, because I think that's something that tends to get lost. People buy cartridges and whatever, but the manuals for a lot of these games, I don't know. It sounds dumb as I'm saying it, but like I love doing that kind of stuff. Selling off my Magic cards, not interested in finding partners to play. Yeah, I Magic has gone really downhill, in my opinion, over the last couple of years, and so I don't really play Magic anymore. And Magic Arena has become really microtransactional, and I think it ruined the game. So took what could have been a really cool product and actually just straight up ruined it with really hefty microtransactions, a bad crafting system. Really not good at all. Magic Arena, I would recommend you stay away from it. Only if the cards are in deck. This would be a great list of something on your Discord. Do you have a list of what you have? No, I never really. I don't think I've made a list. I think I have a list of like my anime collection, because I was for a while there trying to get that organized, and then I have a list of the Genesis manuals that I've been collecting, but I don't have a list of anything that I have in real life. I don't sit. I'm not a list maker really. Gotta go. Maybe I can drop in later again. Keep up the good spirits. See you Thursday. Yes. If all goes well, we shall be here on Thursday as well. These have identical, because they're powdered eggs. To say identical calories, but different vitamins. That's interesting. What do we have that we can make deluxe? We have some meat jerky. I really don't want to open cans for this. Go ahead and make one out of meat jerky. We'll eat those eggs. Eat the deluxe scrambled eggs. Not a ton of calories, but I think has the food consumption been fixed? Hopefully that's been addressed, so we're not going to be starving to death anymore, although it will take time for us to rebuild our calorie stores. Let's just do regular scrambled eggs and get rid of some of these bird eggs. In fact, it looks like I used dehydrated eggs by mistake, so let's use these regular chicken eggs. Not a lot of calories. Just looking to fill our belly. Interesting, we've eaten 6 portions of scrambled eggs at this point, and we're still very hungry. That's not great. Let's, do we have any juice or anything? Juice. No. Just drink some stuff. Get your thirst taken care of. Now we're satisfied. I guess eggs are just a very low volume would be my guess. And that's why we weren't able to get full off of that. That'd be awesome. Why would you get money from that? Yeah, it's like they just don't get it. And sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I look at like Twitch. I have no subscriptions on Twitch because I don't really see a value in having a subscription on Twitch because you don't really get anything out of it. So like there are times when I think about it and I'm like, why would people subscribe? Why would people do that? And at the end of the day, I think it's a donation. It's not about them getting perks and a little badge. I mean, I'm sure some people like the little badges and the getting access to emotes and things like that, but I think for the most part it's more like people are like, hey, I really like this person, I want to support them financially a little bit, I'm able to give $5 a month or whatever the cost is. Or even better, oh, I have Twitch Prime, or I have Amazon Prime, so I just get to click that button and they get a free $2 or whatever the streamer makes. So I don't know, I fluctuate on it pretty wildly depending on my mood and how I feel about it. Let's rip this seat out. Get rid of, yes, remove the seatbelt first. Storing interesting but useful collection stuff in a shelf is funny. I mean, I have a shelf. I don't have anything really for storage purposes. Like my Magic the Gathering cards are in their own containers over in the corner in a tote, along with like my D&D stuff and just random other nerdy crap that I have with my tarot cards and all that stuff. The shelf is stuff I need to access more frequently, so like my books, and then I have my Xbox 360 and Xbox One games on a shelf as well, and my DVD collection is also in a very large tote, because for a while there I had Didn't really have wasn't buying anything digitally, so I had all these old DVDs and stuff that I would just pick up occasionally, you know. I try not to buy DVDs anymore. They're just pretty expensive, and it's so much cheaper just to hit up like Netflix every once in a while and just watch to your heart's content. Because like everything I do comes in bursts, so like I'm bored a lot, and then out of nowhere I'll be like, I want to watch just a crap ton of media, and I'll spend several days doing nothing but watching TV and movies and stuff, and then I'm over it, and then I don't really think about it for another month, basically. Cargo space. So like every couple months, I'll hit up Netflix or Hulu when I get the urge to watch something, and then I just don't think about it again for several months. Like currently, I have no subscriptions. Not paying any attention to subscriptions. Nothing's really coming out because of the state of the world. Things aren't being recorded right now. Things aren't really being worked on. So I mean, you know, not like a ton of new stuff is coming out. I've been catching some stuff as it comes out. I watched Underwater. We talked about that recently. That came out like 3 4 months ago, something like that. I tried watching The Invisible Man. I actually did not think that movie was very good. Um, which yeah, might be controversial. I think people really liked that, but did not enjoy that movie so much. Um, something about what's her name? I can't think of her name. Elizabeth, is that Elizabeth Moss? It's she played Peggy on Mad Men. Uh, I'm blurring her name with her character in Mad Men. Peggy Olson, I think. I almost said Elizabeth Olsen, but I think that's one of the Olsen twins. Which man, I haven't thought about them since I was like 12 years old. They have not been culturally relevant in a long time, huh? So what do we do? I guess in the night we just want to go back to reading some. Electronics is 3. First aid is great. Mechanics could do with some work, although we've accomplished most of what we want to do. Probably need a higher electronics to start putting solar panels on. I don't know for sure. Just give me advanced. What was the other electronics book I had? Electronic circuit theory. They're probably both very boring. So a fire in here. Start up the old fire. And your emergency food. Yes, I still have quite a lot of canned food from my over purchasing at the start of the COVID situation. But whatever, at least it's edible. I have a family member who bought probably like 900 rolls of toilet paper. And now it's like, what were you thinking? Like what in an emergency, how is that going to help you? Whereas admittedly, I bought too much food. Like I've had my family come in here and be like, "Why do you have 40 cans of soup?" And it's like, well, because you never know. There were a while there they were posting that like there was going to be meat shortages and food shortages, and it's like you didn't really know for sure, and it's like why not buy like for about a month and a half every time I would go to the dollar store, I'd just buy like 2 or 3 cans of soup and just throw them on the shelf and then not worry about it. Not like I went crazy with it, but I had a family member who was like, every time you go into any store, I need you to look for toilet paper. If they have toilet paper, I need you to buy the maximum amount that they will allow you to buy and just bring it home, put it in this room. Like, Jesus, it's toilet paper. Uh, I don't know. It's crazy. Let's read our electronics. They both suck, unfortunately. Let's pop in our MP3 player. Nope, that is a welder. And we'll read our electronics here. Read until you get the level. Think advanced solar requires mechanics 4. I never bother to make the advanced ones that often. You need a book to make the advanced solar panels. Yeah, I don't really make them. If I find them on a vehicle, I'll use them, but for the most part, I don't pay much attention to them. Man, reading this is slow, huh? We're hungry again. You know, we still have bird eggs in our inventory. They're mushy, but I don't really care. Make some more eggs. Just regular old scrambled eggs, please. Make 2 of them. And we'll look at their volume. How small is this? Scrambled eggs. Yeah, so it's less than 1/4 of a liter. So that's why it's not really filling us up. So let's see if we can eat something a little bit more voluminous. Eat some pumpkin. And some more pumpkin. That'll do. And I think we'll go to bed here. And I should grab my water because I have nothing to drink. Oh, still need to replace this chair. I keep forgetting to replace this chair. I'm so sorry about this squeaking. I know it's been like a week. I kept saying I would fix the chair. I don't remember which advanced solar panels are valuable if you use an electronic car. I haven't really been doing that lately. I used to do that a lot, where I would do basically all the time go solar vehicles. Nowadays, it's just so much easier to find gas and put extra tanks on it. And solar panels aren't as common as they used to be. Used to be you would find solar cars in basically every town. I've just been struggling to find solar panels lately, Most of the time when I find them, it's because I take them off of a roof somewhere. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't done the electric car thing in a while. Plus, by the time usually I'm getting around to making my own car, it's so heavy, you put in 1 billion cargo spaces and load up your whole base, and it's like the electronic engines tend to struggle. And then finding the, nicer electric engines are much less common now. Happy you started earlier. I mean, what else am I doing with my life? My life is meaningless. First and only mid-game character died because it ran out of energy inside of a horde. Yeah, they really eat up your electric charge, the solar panels. Right now, the only reason I want the solar panel is because it could defray the cost of the freezer. We're getting negative 45W at the moment at all times, and in order to keep that going, we've been running our engine, and I would love to stop doing that. And if we could just put like 2 solar panels on this, it would be fine. To run that all the time. We could just go get the solar panel right now. Let's drop these books. What else do I have in my inventory? I would like to keep the welder and PBA mask on me because I'll forget about them. Let's make these other 2 scrambled eggs, and then we'll go see about fixing that. So let's splintered wood. Refillable lighter, start fire, eggs. Not the dehydrated ones. You are silly. You are pretty awesome and would love to send you some stuff to show the family that you have fans. I sometimes make good stuff. Yeah, I was looking at your Etsy store today because I was curious about, just in the back of my mind, I had an idea about 3D printing some gamer stuff, and I thought of you because that's what you do. You 3D print things. And I was thinking about so a long time ago I found it was a necklace with the Dishonored symbol on it, the Outsider's mark from Dishonored, which is like the mark on your hand if you're not familiar with Dishonored. It's like an occult thing. And I had found a silver necklace with that symbol like a long time ago, probably when Dishonored 2 first came out. And I was thinking, like, man, that'd be a good keychain or something like that. So I decided to come over and see what you had available to you because I wondered about copyright infringement. And I was curious if you sell anything that's actually copyrighted material. And I don't want to put you on blast, but there's, 1 or 2 things that, like, you probably don't have the rights to use the name of and that sort of thing. Game is eating my inputs. That's exciting. But I was curious about if you made anything that was like copyright infringing and how you dealt with that and if that's a big deal, really. I see stuff on Etsy all the time that's like way illegal. So like you can go right now to Etsy and find like Raspberry Pi emulators with thousands of games on them and that kind of stuff. It's like that's literally illegal, and you're sending it right to your own bank account, and like how are you doing that and not getting in, like nobody cares, right? Oh, I'm making a MAME arcade cabinet, from arcade games from the 70s. And it's like, yeah, nobody cares, but it's still illegal and it's still a crappy thing to do. So I just wondered if you had anything. And yeah, I'm not going to put you on blast, but there's one or two things that's probably not licensed and possibly, might be a mild issue.